Welcome back to Bird 2 News, where we only give the real and freshest news about world religions. I'm Shaniqua, and today let's find out what religion we're talking about. Let's go to Patricia on the streets.
Thank you, Shaniqua. Today, here we are in the streets, and we're going to be asking the 4 worldview questions to some people. Let's find some people. Oh, look. Hi. Can we ask you some questions today?
Yes.
Okay, so what is our nature?
Our nature is ice.
Ice?
Yes, we were created from the armpits of ice giants.
And what is our world?
Ice. Snow.
And our problem?
The sun.
Thank you very much. Now we're going to find a different person. Hi, can I ask you the 4 worldview questions?
Sure.
What is our nature?
Snowflakes.
What do you mean by snowflakes?
We evolved from snowflakes, and that's explains why we're white and why we're all unique, just like snowflakes.
Thank you very much. Let's go on to the next person. Let's ask some more people. Hi, can I ask you the 4 worldview questions?
Sure.
What is our nature?
We came from aliens, and our king is still in Area 51. You can't throw us anything. This helmet gives us a signal to the king who is in Area 51. Actually, I'm getting a strong signal now. What are you doing? Get off your phone! Get off the phone!
Thank you very much for watching our channel. Let's find some more worldview. Hi, can I ask you the 4 worldview questions?
Sure.
What is our nature?
I believe that every person has an Atman, which is our soul, and it's identical to the Brahman, which is our ultimate reality. We also are affected by karma and rebirth.
Okay, and what is our world?
Our world is eternal, and it is dictated by cosmic law and the law of karma.
What is our problem?
I believe that our problem is that we are ignorant of our true nature. So we are trapped in our karma, and everything that's bad that happens to us is because of something we did in our past lives.
Okay, and what is our end?
When we die, we'll either be reincarnated as something else or someone else, or if we have received freedom through our works or knowledge, then we will be equal with the Brahman.
Thank you very much. Back to you, Shaniqua. Thank you.
Thanks, Patricia. Those are some interesting worldviews. The last one, though, let's dive into that. Hinduism. Let's make a move and go to our truth tester, Travis. Travis, tell us more about this Hinduism and if it passes the truth tests. Thanks, Shaniqua. Welcome to Truth Tests with Travis. Hi, I'm Travis. Let's get started with this worldview called Hinduism. It is very interesting, and we're going to dissect it and see if this passed the truth tests. So, let's get started with internal consistency. Internal consistency. The doctrine of karma is along the lines of this. People get what they deserve. In this life, you do good things and bad things. So they say that good is rewarded and evil is punished. And that's how you live your life and how it's affected in the next life too. But what defines good or evil? Maybe Brahman? Brahman to some is part of all of us. He is everywhere. To others, he is an impersonal God. But the logical answer is that Brahman brings good and evil. But we learn that Shakarnara, who is the highly regarded Hinduist, he says that Brahman is the only thing that exists and he has no attributes and is impersonal from us. So how can a God who has no attributes create good or evil? The answer is he can't. So how do we even know good or evil? We can't. So the whole thing of getting what you deserve, like karma says, doesn't really make sense because we can't know what good or evil is if no one has attributes that is good or evil. How are those things defined? We can't. So the second point is externally. Most Hinduists don't feel need to explain their belief. They don't even need evidence for it. They just believe it. With their beliefs, they believe that our world is ultimately unreal. Deep down, they believe that all exist is Brahman. The world only appears real through an illusion given through Brahman. But the problem is that what we experience on Earth and everything we see is world. So there is nothing that leads us to believe that what we are seeing is unreal. I can feel, I can touch, I can smell, I see things. That is real. So externally, we should conclude that our world is real. Lastly, is existential consistency. Is this world livable? This is more personal to the person, obviously, and to some people might say that this is a livable religion. But one big inconsistency is that with your regeneration, how could you ever be good enough? We are trapped in this life and we are not able to get out of it. Hinduism basically says that whatever happens to us in this life, if it's bad, is your fault. You have bad karma. That means that you will go to a lesser person in the next life and be always stuck in this life. And how could you ever be good enough with this? You can't, because you aren't perfect. And that's it from Truth Test with Travis. Bye, I'm Travis. Thanks for joining me. You heard it here first, folks, from the truth tester himself, Travis. This Hinduism does not pass the test. Now, on the field herself, let's go to Bessie and our natural and special revelation specialist. Bessie, are you there?
Hi, today we're out here in nature to see that natural and special revelation show us the meaning of a true Christian worldview. We see that through natural revelation that we have God's grace and that we are undeserving of it, and it's not because of our own works that we get that grace from God, but it is through His love for us. And whereas in Hinduism, we see that they only get to have a good afterlife, per se, through karma. And karma is doing good works so that you can get out of the loop of birth, death, rebirth, which just goes over and over until you have good karma. But we see that that's not the case, because this can't be just an accident, and it could not be all of what we see. It cannot come from good karma, and we see that God created this because it is too cold and too precise to be a accident, and just through that we see, and from the Bible we see that God created everything that we see, all the snow, all the cold, the sun, the warmth. We just see that's all from God.
And now we have an interview with Luther himself. Luther?
Good morning, everybody. Today we are here in the headquarters with a very special guest, Martin Luther. Today we'll be asking him some questions. Hi Martin, how are you today?
I'm good.
So let's start with the first question. How do Luther's two kingdom realms and three states theology factor in the Christian's engagement with the issue and culture?
For the two kingdoms question, we should think back to the diagram I came up with. The diagram has a line connecting us and God and another line connecting us to the people around us. So the answer to that question would be to love your neighbor as yourself, but to remember that God always comes first. For the second question, the three estates correlates to our roles here on earth. Basically, we should respect the hierarchy of society and to know and follow our roles in each.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Luther, for that interview. And now, I hear it coming in. We have live from the debate. Let's go to the debate right now.
I don't know how people could say that Christianity is true. Hinduism is the religion that makes the most sense.
Well, Christianity is a religion based on the three truth test, which means that Christianity passes the existential pragmatism, the internal consistency, and external consistency, which means our religion is based on truth.
Well, how do you even know that Jesus was resurrected from the dead?
Well, we know that Jesus was resurrected from the dead because we see it in the Bible, and besides seeing it in the Bible, there was at least 5,000 witnesses of this great miracle.
Well, are you sure he wasn't just reincarnated? I believe that after he died, he would have come back to life in someone else's body, or maybe through his good works, he would have received or been one with Brahman.
Well, I think that your consistency is not very valid because we know that Brahman, your God, is a God that has no attributes. So your religion talks about karma and good and evil. But how can you base your religion on good and evil if your God has no attribute? Who and what determines these attributes?
It just comes from Brahman, and the knowledge is within us. We just have to know it.
But who determines that if you have no God? You have a God with no attributes.
It just has to come from our knowledge that he gives us.
Thank you very much. This debate was an example of how we have to listen and respect different worldviews as ours. But in that same way, we need to ask them questions to lead them to understand that the religion is not consistent or coherent. Thank you for watching the debate.
Thanks for joining us at Virtu News. I'm Shaniqua. Catch you on the flippity flip.